and welcome here to the home of the smiling sun champion and Ferrari's biggest fan as we are celebrating here down under. Oh yay! Wow, it's the happiest place definitely in the Ferrari world. What a fantastic victory, and not just a victory but the 1-2 of Ferraris in the Australian Grand Prix at the Melbourne Park. Oh my god, we are so excited about it. Finally, that's how the F1 should be. That's exactly how we remember it when Michael Schumacher was dominating. Obviously, the first 1-2 here in Australia, actually since 2004, when Michael Schumacher got it with Barrichello. That was the courtesy of, another driver who kind of was making his re-debut again, Carlos Sainz, who managed to snatch the victory, and in what a dominant fashion. That was even better. So since he snatched it in such dominant fashion, we will show it to you in our brand new Ferrari fashion for the 2024 season and tell you everything about the most important moments, of course, of this fantastic race that was run in a beautiful sunshine in our nowadays very traditional race reaction for, of course, the races in 2024 season. So, what can we say? Look, again, we had the last race we won was in Singapore. I thought that we had plenty of opportunities to win, for example, in Monza. We had plenty of opportunities to win in Las Vegas. There were definitely, races where we were very close. And already this season, you could see, what I liked was that, Ferrari had a good speed, definitely, right behind Red Bull. But probably here in Australia, what happened was that it was very clear right from the beginning, from the practice, that we were super strong, and especially when it came to the race pace. And during the race, it was clearly shown because we controlled the race. And now we can, of course, celebrate with that famous Italian anthem. So, that's just wonderful thing that has happened. And so how did the race unfolded? So of course, the Red Bull driver, we don't need to mention his name, started first, and then of course Sainz returning from that surgery he had on his appendix, so he was competing, qualify second, out-qualify Leclerc, who was starting fifth, but because obviously Perez got a penalty, so we are starting fourth, as a result, sandwich in between, the two McLarens of Norris and Piastri, of course, the home hero. What happened was that, Sainz was coming back, so Oliver Biermann obviously was not going to win his second race, but if he did, and if he would have won, that would have been really interesting, because all of a sudden, you would probably have to redo everything that you want to do in the future in Ferrari, right? So here, Sainz, got a good decent start, and then he was stuck behind Verstappen, and immediately got him on the second lap. I was so happy, that finally, we took the fight, because as I told you in the previous reactions, I think the most important thing is, when you're fighting against the Red Bulls, especially a dominant team, or when it was with the Mercedes, it's important, that you take the starts, in an aggressive, serious manner, but also control manner, so that, they have more to lose than you do, right? Especially when you are not the dominant team. So Ferrari did a fantastic job with Sainz, getting in front of Verstappen, and then his car blew up just like 2 years ago, of course. So, finally, he had some retirement issues. Obviously, we shouldn't really be celebrating that, because obviously we want to beat them fair and square, but hey, it was like the whole Australian crowd, suddenly was celebrating because he was not going to equal his record, which he, I believe, shouldn't have, of the 10 wins in a row. It should have always been Alberto Ascari achieved in the Ferrari, these 9 wins. Obviously Vettel also got it, and now Verstappen only equal it, and sadly he still has that record from the last year, because Sainz at that time cracked under pressure. But here, he was well controlled for the 4 laps. Once Verstappen was gone, he pretty much decided the race in the first 10 laps. So that was amazing. He had a really good pace, obviously being in front of Norris of McLaren, and once I couldn't believe that actually we were so fast. But again, compared to McLaren, it's maybe not a big surprise. So we were basically all of a sudden, right up there, 10 seconds ahead. And then the key moment, to get our amazing 1-2 came when Leclerc had to cover off Piastri, who made the early stop. Then we jumped Norris, and basically, we could control it easily from there to the checkered flag. So that was fantastic. Obviously, Sainz, he stopped a little bit later, so he got very close to the Leclerc, but because then he had newer tires, when he made that second pit stop, he just went forwards basically. Again, Leclerc couldn't keep up with him, but that's quite amazing. Coming after the surgery, I think as they did mention, is the first time since Gerhard Berger, when he switched from Ferrari to Benetton, back in the 90s, in I think 1997, when he came back from injury and won the race. So I was just hoping that his fitness would be fine, but normally even if you take a week or two off, because you've been doing, you've been a professional athlete for over 10 years, right? He started in 2015 in F1. It's not like you immediately lose all the fitness. So yeah, he did a great job. Okay, just like Oliver Bierman did, obviously in Saudi Arabia, in that car again with maybe limited fitness, to it, and that's the most important thing. We were able to win, and obviously nowadays in the championship it looks like a really, really interesting fight. But I really hope Ferrari, can keep this going, because this is just fantastic. We greatly enjoyed, and again, there were some obviously other accidents, in a race, but that didn't really concern us, because we are the Ferrari's biggest fans, as you can see over here in our beautiful red Ferrari fashion. It was interesting. I thought that Alonso got a penalty, for causing, that big accident that George Russell had. That could have been, much more serious, when he, lost the car in a dirty air, then bounced back to the track, but that's the tricks Alonso, obviously loves, doing. That's why, he is not a Ferrari driver, and, probably not really celebrated that much, at least not by me and a lot of tifosi. So yeah, in general, interesting race, so finish Ferrari, then McLaren. I felt, with McLaren, I mean, come on, letting Piastri, go, ask him to let Norris go, that was really bad. That's why I think, Ferrari is definitely, the best team, right, at the moment. It's always been in history, but especially you can see that integrity, even though Sainz is leaving, and we could have asked him to give the win to Leclerc, because Leclerc would be leading the World Championship. We didn't. We play fair, and I'm really proud of that, because I think, that would have been a bad call. But a lot of the other teams, they like to tell the drivers, hey, swap the position, but not Ferraris. Yes, so again, we mentioned the most important moments, which was that great overtaking, that beautiful section, with the palm trees, next to the lake there in the Melbourne, the Albert Park, where, Sainz took the lead from Verstappen. His car exploded. Maybe it was because he was running in the dirty air for the first time this season, right? And then obviously that great undercut, that first pit stop, which put Leclerc second, and then we nicely controlled. It was just like we were celebrating, every time, they went past, we were just like, hey, go ahead. So let's take a look at the final classification, and also let's take a look at, how the standings look like. We are so happy. This is the time for the Tifosi to celebrate, and I'm sure we will celebrate all through the March, all the way to the Easter, where then we, of course, already did the Middle East, we went to Australia, now we will go to Asia, and hopefully we will keep up the title challenge, so finally we can win the World Championship. So let's take a look here, and so we can turn a little bit our beautiful red iMac over here to show you the result. Okay, so as you can see over here, Sainz, won, but because again of that collision that I mentioned, between Alonso and Russell, you can see it's only 2 seconds, but actually he was easily, almost 10 seconds ahead. Looks good in that Ferrari fashion, right? You can see, this is exactly how it should be. Every single race, 1-2 for Ferrari. Yeah, very fantastic. Okay, and this is how it finished. Fastest lap again went to Charles Leclerc. That's his second fastest lap. And let's take a look over here, how it looks like in, the championship. So, for the championship, it's very important. You can see the beautiful Australia over here. So yeah, Verstappen is leading, but you can see Leclerc. If obviously, he didn't lose to Sainz twice already, he could have been leading the championship. So nicely there in second. Perez was non-existent in a race, so I think we would have beaten Red Bull even without the Verstappen's DNF. Sainz, just like I mentioned in the last race reaction, that's why you should definitely always enjoy it. You can definitely subscribe and watch it, because we know everything about Ferraris. I told you he's gonna have a strong result. He's gonna go back to fourth, and you can see how the rest of the table looks like. Pretty much the rest of the drivers probably look to be out of it. Both McLarens, Alonso, both Mercedes, Pence's with the Lewis Hamilton, who's probably already driving that red Ferrari. So yeah, you can see the top 5 teams. Of course, Stroll, has to be 10th, right? Suppose that Bierman is not there. And yeah, this is how it looks like. So we are greatly pleased. This is fantastic over here. And yeah, we will obviously celebrate it a lot. And yeah, we cannot wait for the next race then in Suzuka, to see exactly, what will happen there. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a fantastic race, and especially the consistency is very important, so we can really take the fight to the Red Bull and fight for the elusive World Championship. So now let's go, dun, 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 let's celebrate with the Ferrari's national anthem. That obviously, sadly, maybe we cannot show you to you over here due to the copyright, but definitely play the national anthem of Italy. That's again, we love to hear that song, because that's what we love about F1 the most. This was the very exclusive race reaction from Ferrari's biggest fan, the Smiling Sun champion, who is now also the heaviest Ferrari's fan in the world. What a fantastic result. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the rest of the March, and I'm sure in April we will get to the lead of the both championships, because even in the Constructors' Championship we are only 4 points behind Red Bull. The Ferrari's victory is coming in the championship. Let's enjoy the 1-2. Forza Ferrari! Dun, 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 dun. Let's go!